Okay, everyone, this will be the first in what I hope will be many videos regarding shit hits the fan, the end of the world, that sort of thing. And I just want to dive into some quick, harsh realities of it, okay? The harsh reality number one is like whether it be whatever zombie, whatever you're preparing for, zombie apocalypse like The Walking Dead, or 1984, The Road, 1 Second After, whatever series you choose as your model, these realities will apply in pretty much all of them. First off, food will be scarce. I mean, if you think you're going to be able to go out and hunt like some sort of frontiersman, guess again, guess again. I mean, the populations of fish, deer, elk, moose, geese, and ducks, and all that shit, it's going to be just decimated in a matter of weeks. Well, maybe months, but months if not weeks. Because people are going to be out there hunting, shooting, left and right. There's going to be stray bullets going every which way. And, it's also, and, you know, you're going to be, not many people in this country know how to farm. So there's going to be a huge die-off of a lot of people as people begin raiding for food, fighting each other for food, and yes, even eating each other. Because cannibalism will be quite common, believe me. Anyway, another big thing is all the horrible people, like the posse from 1 Second After, or the saviors from, Walking Dead. Those people are going to be out there, and they're not all going to come with a big army. It may be just one or a few guys. Anyone could, a sociopath could just run around his neighborhood, people who he has lived around and known his whole life, start panicking and say, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And then they just say, let's help this guy. And then when they get close, like, he could just come out and say, "My wife's dying. My wife is in labor," or something like that. "Please help me." And then he invites them back into their house, and then he shoots them. He shoots you or whoever, and then he goes over to his house, takes his stuff, and does the same thing over. I mean, he could get 10 or 20 people that way, and he could just live off of everybody else's stuff for a pretty good while. Or he could, run around the neighborhood and just start randomly, go out at night and just start randomly shooting at houses, run back into his own house before anyone knows what's going on, and he rallies all the people together to quote-unquote protect the community with him at the helm. And also, you see a child asking for help, begging for help, and then it pulls on your heartstrings, and you walk towards them, and then all of a sudden, their parents shoot you, or maybe their little kid friends shoot them. They don't even have to be at puberty. In fact, children are probably going to be one of the most dangerous groups. Just look at my video, Why Child Soldiers Are Great Soldiers. And, there's going to be a lot of human predators out there. There's going to be more than I mentioned. I mean, people are going to want to do slavery. There's going to be a lot of post-apocalyptic cults. I mean, a lot of crazy groups trying to establish their own nations. It's just going to be madness. And I haven't even gotten started yet. There's going to be disease. Cold, something as simple as a cold could turn into pneumonia or whooping cough, which can kill. And, if you break a bone, or like an arm or a leg, there may not be a doctor around who's an orthopedic surgeon around, let alone an orthopedic surgeon to fix and probably knows how to take care of such an injury. And I mean, soap is not going to be coming in. Infections are going to be rampant. There's going to be amputations resulting from minor cuts that get infected. Limbs are going to have to be cut off left and right. There's going to be a lot more amputees. And I mean, people will be going, will be killed, will die, or be disabled, or suffer from a major lifelong disability for the rest of their lives. And because of something that was easily fixable today. But remember, hospitals are not going to be readily available and shit is the fan. Yeah, there'll be some doctor's office, but what we have now in this country is state of the art. Another thing is that whether poor or rich, most Americans live like, and Europeans and certain parts of Asia like South Korea and Japan, we live like fucking royalty, if not better than royalty did back in the Middle Ages or antiquity or whatever. I mean, they didn't have air conditioning or anything like that. Sure, they had a servant to fan them and shit like that, but, you know, they didn't have entertainment as readily as we did, and all that stuff. We live like royalty. Even the poor, even most of the poor in this country live like royalty. And, you know, keep that in mind. We live like royalty. Our spoiled soft asses would get quite the awakening if shit ever hit the fan, trust me. And, also, there's going to be a lot of the services that you take for granted will be gone. And I'm not talking about, you know, internet or Wi-Fi or any of that shit. Plumbing will be gone. You know, medical services on demand will be gone. Law enforcement, I know a lot of you hate that, but you're going to miss them when they're gone. Fire department, EMTs, you know, all that stuff. It's not going to exist anymore. And, it's just crazy. There's going to be a lot of mayhem, believe me. And also, I almost forgot. As far as like how I mentioned disease earlier, if you've got some sort of ailment, be it physical or mental, like let's say, you know, you have diabetes. Let's say you have, you know, anything like that. HIV, that'll morph into AIDS real quickly with it when you can't get your medication. There's just so many diseases out there, there's just too many to list. I mean, and there's stuff like, you know, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, autism. It's like, if you have any of those severe conditions, and you require medication to stay alive, nice knowing you, but goodbye. And, you know, it's just going to be a mess. There's going to be, you know, a lot of terrible things going on. And, I mean, and there's also, like, so many diseases that we wouldn't be able to treat then, like, you know, syphilis and things like that. So many horrible things. And, again, if shit ever hit the fan, we'd be in for a rough ride. I don't know if 90% of the American population would die off in such an event, but there would be a death toll in the millions, and we would be in for one hell of a time. And I'm not gonna, I know some of you are probably looking up to, you know, gang war, or looking up to having huge apocalyptic battles. I mean, there might not even be a battle, it might be just some serial killer guy coming and killing you in your sleep. You might not even get a chance to fight. And if you do, war is a horrible thing. I mean, I've never been to war, but I've listened to those that have. I mean, people getting their limbs blown off, people getting shot to death. I mean, it's not a rolling gun battle. all day, all night. It's not like the movies. It's not like Black Hawk Down, just all blazing in glory. It's most of the time that's not going to be really even a factor. About 99% of the time, a wise man. Speaking of which, a wise man once said, "War is mostly waiting." You'll be mostly trying to rebuild. You'll be trying to farm. You'll be trying to homestead. You'll be trying to take care of the livestock. You'll be, caring for a sick loved one. You'll be watching a loved one die. And I mean, there's just so many people that, and another thing is that, we are going to have to deal with, we're going to have to dish out very harsh punishments, because something that seems small right now, like stealing firewood, would be big then, because if you steal somebody's firewood, they can't heat their house and they might die. So, there'd have to be corporal punishments, like floggings in public, walks of shame. It's like, it'd be the Middle Ages all over again. We'd have to hand out death sentences, like public hangings and things like that. Maybe burning at the stake for really serious offenses. And, it's going to be a huge mess if it ever does happen. I know we all have fantasies about SHTF. I'm guilty of it myself. I admit it. I've had fantasies of, The Walking Dead becoming a reality and things like that, and what I would do, and how I would save people, and how I would be this big, bad hero and emerge the leader of all, and just rule all through my mad skills. But the truth is, I would not want to live in that world. And, trust me, it would be a terrible mess, because, people would be dying from eating bad water and bad food. And that's another thing. You take, so many things you take for granted would be gone. Plumbing would be gone, running water, all that stuff. Electricity, air conditioning, heating, all that stuff. It's just like, wow. And you couldn't just replace your clothing either. Clothing would get torn, it would get tattered, and you'd have to learn to cut, sew, and stitch. You couldn't just buy some new clothes. Not happening. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It will be that will be all for now. I hope this is just one video in my Shit Hits the Fan series, and I hope there will be more. So anyway, like, comment, share, and subscribe.